Aloha and welcome. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about IPSec or Internet Protocol Security. So what is IPSec? Well, IPSec is a protocol suite that's used to secure data communications over an IP network. We're talking about IP networks. We're talking about layer 3 of the OSI model, and that's going to be our network layer. So IPSec, it's going to give us the authenticity, the integrity, and the confidentiality of an IP packet. We haven't talked about IP packets yet, but when you're talking about networks and particularly the network layer, you're dealing with data that's put into IP packets. So an IP packet is simply a chunk of information because let's say the information you're sending is this large chunk. You break it up into packets that you can send out one by one. So a packet's going to have a header and it's going to have a body to it. So your IP header will have like addressing information and such. So that's the high level view of it. We're not going to go into it any deeper there, but just understand that's what an IP packet is. We've broken into these little chunks that we're going to be sending out. So we're going to be ensuring the authenticity, integrity, and confidentiality of these IP packets using one of the two protocols that we're about to discuss, which is Authentication Header or Encapsulating Security Protocol, known as AH or ESP. So Authentication Header, AH, that's an IPsec protocol that provides authenticity and integrity for an IP packet, and it gives protection against a replay attack. So it ensures the data integrity by using a message digest, and it gives the data authenticity by using a shared secret to create the message digest. So it also protects against the replay attack, as I mentioned, by using a sequence number in an AH header, and the AH authenticates an entire IP packet, which is both the IP header and the IP payload. The second protocol here is the Encapsulating Security Protocol, ESP, and that's an IPsec protocol that provides authentication, integrity, and confidentiality for an IP packet, and it gives protection also against a replay attack. So ESP, it provides the encryption by using a shared key between the sender and the receiver, and it uses the same AH algorithms for providing the integrity and the authentication. So thing to keep in mind is that ESP only authenticates the IP payload. You may have a question on that. The ESP only authenticates the IP payload, not the header. So the next thing we talk about is the IPsec modes. So there's two modes. There's transport and there's tunnel mode, and they're used for different purposes. So transport mode is going to be more end-to-end, it's going to be when you're communicating between a host and a gateway, or like a client and a server. That's going to be a situation where you want to authenticate and encrypt the payload, but not the IP header. So yeah, use this mostly for end-to-end communications. The other one is going to be tunnel mode. And tunnel mode is a mode in which the IP packet, the IP header, and the payload are authenticated, encrypted, and encapsulated in a tunneling protocol. So IPsec is commonly encapsulated in layer 2 tunneling protocol, which is known as L2TP. And tunnel mode is used in communications between two gateways, like a host and a gateway, or two hosts. So the thing to keep in mind also is tunnel mode is used mostly like if you've got a VPN where you're connecting two networks together. So that's a common use for tunnel mode. So we have an example here that I will show you in our text. So let me go ahead and pull up our text here. So our participation activity has a nice illustration. So run start here. So in transport mode, this is your original IP packet right here. So in transport mode, you take the IP payload and you authenticate it and you encrypt it. So you then create this authentication header, and that's inserted after the payload. So it precedes the payload here. So then the IP header is inserted after the authentication header. So the entire IP packet is authenticated. So you've got here the IP payload, it takes that, calculates it based on that, and then it takes the IP header, the original IP header, and attaches it. So in tunnel mode, though, an IP packet is going to have both IP payload and IP header, and it's going to be authenticated and encrypted. And then the authentication header, the AH, it's inserted after the IP packet. So after that original IP packet that you had, you've got the IP header, the IP payload. You're going to be putting the AH right before that. So then after that, in the beginning, you're going to have a new IP header that's going to be inserted. So you're going to have that, you're going to have the original IP packet behind that, and the new IP packet in total is going to be authenticated. So that's how this works. We've got IPSec, which has our two different main protocols, Authentication Header and Encapsulating Security Protocol. We also have the two different modes, the transport and the tunnel mode, to keep in mind. Just keep in mind that tunnel mode is specifically used for VPN, and transport mode is used for connections between like client and server, host and gateway, things like that. So that's it for this video. It's rather short, but this is it's a deep topic, but we're just going over the highlights here. So let me know if you have any questions about that. Also, feel free to use your AI tutors to help you out understanding that. You can ask for specific examples and things like that. So feel free to use Gemini and ChatGPT if you like on that. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Aloha.